It's another night in Fifth Third Arena. The band is playing, the parents have bought their popcorn, the players have been introduced, the national anthem has been played, the referee is in the center circle ready to toss the ball. But why is the student section empty? Where are the rest of the fans? An absence of fans is not unusual for a women's college basketball game these days. There are only a handful of schools with attendance able to compete with men's basketball. The University of Cincinnati women's basketball team is not one of those teams. Out of the 11 home games so far this season, the team has had an average attendance of about 800 people. Why is this three-digit number significantly low? According to Director of Student Athlete Development and former college basketball player Cassandra Thorpe, the answer is a lack of advertisement and popularity.
Probably don't know about it. That's always a big piece, which I try to help even some of our student athletes be aware of games that are going on. Women's basketball isn't as popular of a sport. It's always hard, unless you have a UConn team or a Stanford or something, it's harder to sell out women's basketball arenas.
Graduate assistant and manager of all Olympic sports, Lindsay Knapp, agrees.
I think it's a lot to do with our advertising, and I do believe that our students don't know that they get in for free. And that's also part of just students in general and not paying it. They don't pay attention a lot of the times to what we send out, but I do believe that if they did know about when the schedules are and were a little bit more aware, that they would come, because they are a lot of fun to go to. The girls play with their whole heart, and it's a good game to go to.
Starting guard Bianca Quinsonberry also believes the team's low record plays a part in their low fan base.
I think part of it is probably because of our record. I know our record is lower than obviously like the men's or like football or other sports that do well.
Despite their team's record, popularity, or lack of advertising, there is a core fan base that will always support the team no matter what. Fifth Third usher Charles Duke consistently sees former players and family members attending games. Knapp and Thorpe have also noticed the same thing.
With the fans that do come, they're very excited about women's basketball, because it's normally our season ticket holders and families, so they're very excited to see their children and the girls that they know personally play. And so it's not a big attendance, but it is people who are very heartfelt about the program.
The atmosphere is always very family-driven, so I see a lot of families there. And the crowd, they get into it. You know, if we're getting a good run, if we hit some good shots, like the crowd is definitely very attentive to the game, so they do know what's going on, so that's always good.
Even though the fans that do attend the games are loyal to the program, loud, and invested in every play, Quinsonberry does say that anticipation of a large crowd brings a different element to the team and locker room.
So it's more like, just show people, what we're about, if they're coming to see us, whether it's to see us or if they're there just because of All Sports Night or they're just to watch UConn. But it gives us an opportunity to show them what we can do, and in hopes that, we give them a show that they want to come back for other games.
When asked about whether or not a lack of fans bothers her or the team, she says it doesn't.
Personally, it doesn't bother me. As far as our team goes, I don't think it really affects our teams. When we're playing, I know we're focused on the game and not so much who's there. So I think in that aspect it doesn't, but I think it would help maybe our confidence level at times, if we had more fans there in moments of tight games and things like that to kind of cheer us on.
Thorpe believes attendance averages affect the players more than they let on.
When you walk out there and you see an empty arena, you're like, wow, okay. I mean, I don't think it totally deters, but you definitely notice.
It may seem as though there are close to no fans per game, but there are people like student athlete Zach Edwards who are the exception.
I've actually been to more women's game this year than I have men's. That's just because I prefer to come to the women's game. It's not too crowded, but that's not a good thing, I guess.
Quinsonberry and Thorpe both agree that people like Edwards, combined with time and awareness, will help improve the low attendance.
Getting programs to where they are. I know the men's basketball program took years to get where it is now, so I think people sometimes don't understand the time that it takes for programs to build a reputation.
I think just awareness that maybe women's basketball doesn't have the dunks or as many upsets as maybe men's basketball, but that the game is still exciting and it's fundamental and it's fun and it's still in its raw, purest form. Like I like college basketball better than the NBA because it's still so pure and fundamental, and you can't have one person take over. It's very much still a team sport. So I think that awareness that women are just as capable, if not better, than some men's teams, I think makes it will allow people to enjoy the game more fully.
NAB says the athletic department takes ticket sales and attendance seriously and is constantly implementing new ways to develop a larger fan base.
Right now, we are doing groups, free groups, which is 10 people or more, and you just come to the will call table right inside the arena and just say, with your whole group being there, so the all 10 plus people, and just say we're a big group, we would like to get into the game, and you get a free comp ticket to get in. And so that's one big major I would say selling point that we just initiated halfway through the season, and we're hoping to continue that. I can't guarantee it, but we're hoping to continue that for future seasons. And I believe that we're starting to advertise to youth leagues and to different schools around the tri-state area to help encourage them to come to the games. So I believe all that effort is going to pay off in the end next season.
All in all, the issue of attendance at women's basketball games is a work in progress, not only at the University of Cincinnati, but all around the country as well. Only time will tell, but it seems as though steps are being taken in the right direction.